For a little
Well, hello everybody. It's been a while, that's for sure. I hope y'all can hear me. If you can't hear me, please let me know. This will be the first time I've been able to stream since my house burned down. So, it's rather exciting. So, hey there, Kenzie, how are you? Well, to get started with a little bit of what custom modding's been working on. We've got our Lockwood, the potato planter. We got it back. Got our tiger mate back. NH3. Now obviously I've got our 2160. Hey there, High Pine Farming. Hey there, Danny. Hope y'all can hear me fine. Also have our John Deere high-speed disc. I'm with you, High Pine Farming. Actually, it's going to kill me to get back into this Deere tractor. We'll go ahead and start out with this thing. We're going to work 3 headlands. Actually, I'm not even going to do that. I want to work this at an angle. Let's be a little bit more realistic here. So, yep, I know it. The 2150 series. It's in game. We're still working through it, but hopefully we're going to get it out soon. Let's go put this on a 5-degree heading. I actually have it in game here, but it's got a couple small issues that we're still trying to get worked through. I'll say going from a long pause of not being able to play Farm Sim for March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, about 9 months. It was really cool to see what all the modding community had done to the game in those 9 months. I don't think I'll be regularly streaming though for a little while. This is kind of an opportunity I had. I got my PC built back in probably October, November. Um, Luckily, it was right before RAM, you know, went absolutely insane. So a little bit of brag, but I at least got to get 64 gigabytes of DDR5 for I think like 130 or 140 bucks. So now I think that's about 800 bucks. So, um, but you know the whole deal is he's able to give me a new PC built. So I got that. I got a 5070 Ti. So I had a 3080 at 12 gig. Um, and I got water cooler. I mean, it's gonna be a pretty beefy rig. I'm excited to kind of put it through more of its paces. We're still currently building a house, so I'm gonna guess that we're probably not gonna be moving until maybe April. So because of that, we probably won't be doing regular streams for a little bit longer. What's some of y'all's favorite mods that came out? I know I've been a big fan of this Judith Plains map. I think it's a 4X. I love big maps, anyways. Makes these bigger tools actually seem worth running. But I don't know, for as big of a map as it is, it just still feels really alive. So I've got to give DJ Modding a big props on that. I thought about going with Cortland Sutton. Not Cortland Sutton. Minnesota. Sorry, I'm thinking about football. But I thought about going with that map. I was talking to Buddy, and I think they're still tweaking a couple things. So I'll eventually get back to that. I want to say that was the map I was on. We had an early beta back in March, whenever I was still doing the live streams. I don't think I'll probably do the Farmhand series though. I think we're probably better off to let that one die. I don't think it it was super great. Hey there, Trent, how are you? Here, we'll just we'll go ahead and hop out of this. We'll go to the Tiger Mate real quick. So, I will say, because I've got the Precision Farming DLC, I think because of that, the anhydricide isn't really working. It shows usage, but it's not actually doing anything to the ground. It's not the only one I've had an issue with. I've got a NH3 pack that still isn't working. So that's still getting worked through. This is Judith Plains. Let's go ahead and 2, work direction. I'm always a sucker to work around at an angle because I've, growing up and doing this stuff in real life, you always worked it at an angle. That way you weren't going in the exact same compaction zones as what the planter and the combine and everything else would be. So that's why I do it. Let's see here. Control This was working here a minute ago. I wonder if it's not something I did messing around with the fields. That is odd. Let me put the anhydrous thing back on. I was working with it. There we go. I think we'll go ahead and we'll focus on getting this field done, because then we'll plant some potatoes. Yeah, pretty excited about the land all as well. At least it's been starting to pick up a little bit more on Farm Sim. You know, the cultivators and the rippers and everything. But man, there was a bad need. I was glad to see somebody. Um, let's see here. I think it's under subsoil. Nope. Yeah, it's under plows. Somebody got an 875, and it works pretty well. I felt like the game's really been missing that. There was the 870 that was around for a long time. Um, I don't know who converted it or anything. It was kind of one of those deals where I either got it from King's Mod or got it from itch.io. I'm still a bigger fan of the, y'all know it, but I'm still a bigger fan of the new case, especially the 785, opposed to the John Deere 9RX. I just feel like the 9RX is so long and sits so low. It's like it's a train. Gosh dang, I forgot to lift that up. Man, that turning on the ends absolutely kills these outside shanks, and you'll bend that metal piece down something fierce. These Raven AccuCoolers, the new ones, I'd say probably past 4 years, they are pretty legit coolers. Used to be whenever you're running anhydrous and you had a bigger toolbar, you had to run 2 coolers. But that new AccuFlow cooler, it's kind of a tank. I mean, no problem running a 60-foot anhydrous bar at 7 miles an hour. I mean, used to be that was absolutely unheard of with a single cooler. Yeah, I'm a case guy. I used to work for a red dealership um, for quite a long time, so I grew up all green. Oh, it's because there we go. I had the tank switched. I grew up all green, but the things that I enjoyed doing, which was more the precision farm stuff, uh, not super friendly on the deer side. Like deer, like what they have is what you get. Um, they don't have very many opportunities to do cool stuff, in my opinion. Um, Case is a little bit more friendly with that sort of stuff. So, and I mean, heck, the farm I worked at for a long time too. They were a mixed fleet, so I got to kind of play with everything, whether it was case, deer. We had some Challenger stuff too. Uh, to me, the red stuff just felt better and what I liked. Obviously, that's a personal preference. They all do the same job at the end of the day, so one's just a whole lot cheaper. You know, it's actually funny enough. The Tiger Mate 255 was probably one of my least played with mods that custom modding had, and it's not because of what you think. I mean, obviously it's a fantastic mod, um, but I always liked working my way up from the ground up. So, by the time I got to the point where I could actually afford the equipment to go with the Tiger Mate and everything, it was kind of, I was just about done with the map at that point. How about that? Hey there, Waylon. I really wish that whenever we came out and they, did it all, I wish it was in different sections, like again, like a 30, a 35, and so on and so forth. Just because it kind of scales better, but this is almost in-game. We'll say let's we're gonna go ahead and do this real quick. Get this going on with course play. Center. I messed that up. Try this now. So which mod is everybody getting most excited for? And I'm getting pretty excited for Project NH3. I don't know why. It's one of those things that Giants hasn't ever really taken too much a part of. Probably because it's not something that's huge over in Europe, but I mean, NH3 is still the most efficient way to get nitrogen into the ground. It's at its highest percent, if I recall, it's 82% nitrogen versus, liquid form is usually 28 or 32%. No, there's a whole modding crew. I believe there's 3 to 4, kind of depends on some other variables, but I'm more so of the stream guy. I'm the technical information kind of person. I couldn't mod to save my life, but so the other guys are really the ones responsible for it. I just give advice on it because I've got more of the real world aspect to it. I mean, the good news is, as you can see, I think the Tiger Mate is pretty close to being ready. I think the NH3 part is kind of what we're waiting on with precision farming and all that. I think whenever precision farming came out, it broke that. I don't know if anybody else can confirm that timeline, but that's what I recall reading anyhow. I do love the backup camera too that got added. I'll say the backup camera kind of adds to the ability to play in the cab a little bit better, to make sure that whatever buttons you press actually happen and work. Make sure you aren't going through an entire pass while you aren't planting or something like that. Let's be honest, we all been there. I'll say whenever we get to the point of like whenever I get the house built and everything like that, and I'm able to play a little bit more frequently, I'm really excited to be able to get a multiplayer server going. So what all that's going to entail is going to be kind of a something that's still got to get discussed. I think what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to vet out and see, what somebody's PC is, and the specs of that. That way we aren't having to dim down all of the graphic settings for everybody. I guess it doesn't go across everybody, but that way everybody's able to play with the mods that we'll have without issues. Because the last thing you want is to get people playing on a server and everything, and their computers just can't handle anything. So then they stop playing, and then you have a whole farm that's doing nothing, and that's no fun for anybody. Let's see if I can go ahead and get the That's not gonna work out. I'll definitely say I miss having my steering wheel. Playing on a keyboard just isn't as fun. Hey there, Nolan. I'd say I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself? Yeah, I think that's definitely going to be what the plan is with doing multiplayer. Um, like I said, we still have to do a little bit of figuring some stuff out on that, and it's going to be a couple months before we're able to, but it's definitely something I want to do. I think it could be really, really fun. I think it also adds to the live streams we do. Everyone's kind of going to be able to be a part of it. And I mean, it's just cool to be farming and you see other people doing stuff. To be 100% honest with you, I'm kind of thinking about doing it here on Judith Plains. I mean, I feel like it's a big enough map with big enough fields that you can have a decent amount of people on it. Whenever we get to the point of doing a big multiplayer map, I mean, I'll absolutely have a ton of mods on it. Yeah, I think like we talked, like I said earlier, Giant just doesn't do well with NH3 stuff, so obviously it's all kind of bricked on the game. After the precision farming stuff, I think that's what we're trying to figure it out on this end. But heck, I've got a whole nother pack that was released earlier this year that just doesn't work and it sucks. I guess, what do you mean by, are we going to have it easier for people to download the files? I feel like it's pretty easy to get any of the files that we have out now, either through ModHub or the Facebook groups, going into the mod fire and just hitting download. And I mean, you can even go into the Patreon, and based off of the Patreon, you can get it. Yeah, on the one I've got, it doesn't really do much of anything. I'll show you that pack real quick. I think it just acts like it's a cultivator, kind of what this one does, and doesn't actually apply any NH3. Let's see here. I think it's actually under... where is that at? Ah, here it is. Yeah, like all these, they don't work. They just act like they're cultivators. As far as whenever we get to the point of like all the mods that will be needed for the game, like whenever you do a multiplayer server, you can go through a couple different places to get a constant server, so it's on 24/7. And on that server deal, there's always a link that you go to where you can just download all the mods from there. So pretty easy. Yeah, to be honest with you, what I was wanting to do was like set up access to where we could kind of get some of the mods out early for the people playing on the multiplayer server, but I can kind of see some issues coming out of that, so it may just be what gets released, but it'll still be pretty cool. This is Judith Plains. Um, it was released by DJ Modding, I believe. Um, to be honest with you, it's kind of been one of my favorite maps I've played in a very, very long time. Hands down my favorite map of 25 so far. Which, I mean, it did stink I wasn't able to play on Cortland, Minnesota for very long. I think I only did, what, 2 live streams with that one? Or else it's probably going to be up there. It was a pretty slick map to play on. Let's see here. I know you have to have the GPS mod. And I thought that the backup camera, somebody else can correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought that came with one of the DLCs. Like the functionality of it. Ah, thanks, Trent. I thought it came with the DLC. We have to run this back here and grab this straggler. Get this knocked out and then we'll go plant some potatoes. Doesn't look like our high-speed disc is done just yet. As soon as he's done, we'll probably go plant some soybeans with the 2160. I didn't realize I misspelled the first. What a rookie mistake. Oh man. I'll have to fix that. Nope, not that one. Oop, not that. Oops. Just trying to go fix the name. I'll have to fix it on YouTube later. Gosh dang. Can't believe I messed that up. Yeah, it really is. Like I said, it makes playing in first person uh, a lot. Oh, I don't know what I want to say. A lot friendlier. Because instead of like trying to look back to make sure you have everything done, and while you're trying to make sure you're going forward or you're selecting the right spot, being able to glance over is pretty handy. I will say the sound system in these new Steigers is freaking crazy. They'll put a sub down there by the buddy seat, and then they got tweeters, and I mean, it's a pretty insane sound system for a tractor. The older series, they had those speakers behind the head panel, and you had to have that thing cranked as loud as it could be just to be able to hear over everything. But heck, the way the cabs are now, you really don't have to do much. One of the other reasons why I really like this map is because it actually has some, like it's vibrant, and actually the ground actually has some contours to it. You get into some of these big maps, everything's just flat. Like actually being able to watch, you know, the equipment flex and do what it's supposed to is pretty cool. There we go. I was finally able to get the spelling error out of the stream. Oh, Lord. will say the 5070 Ti has been one heck of a card. Then I did a 7800 X3D for my CPU. I mean, it's really been running this game like a champ. Everything's on ultra settings. I thought really hard about going back with the 5080, but considering the 5080 and the 5070 Ti have the same amount of RAM on it, I just couldn't see spending that extra couple $100 to go to it. Plus, I believe you can clock a 5070 Ti to be pretty close to a 5080, so if I ever get to that point where I have to do something, that'd probably just be what I'd do. I definitely understand, though, why NVIDIA is going to get rid of the 5070 Ti. I think it competes too close to the 5080, and I mean, I'm surprised they haven't released their super cards yet. I figured they would have released all the supers back at the first of the year, but I imagine all the RAM issues probably the reason why they halted all that. Hey there, Austin, how are you? Alrighty, let's go plant some potatoes now. I'm doing pretty good, Austin. Being able to stream for the first time, and I can't be back in March, so almost a year. I haven't got to the point of running a combine yet. I wouldn't mind doing the AF combine. I'd be honest with you, I haven't really gotten to use it at all because, like I said earlier in the stream, I like to kind of start from nothing and build up. And usually by the time I get to the point of the bigger equipment like this 785 and everything, It's kind of end game for me, so I'm about done with it. So I haven't even got to use it. But let's plant some potatoes with the lockwood. Now that our potato people got to be pretty excited about this, considering we haven't, I mean, Giants doesn't really give a whole lot of love to the potato farmers out there. Alright. Let's start. What did you get there last one? What did you get there, Austin? Oh, nice. Slow down our speed a little bit. It's trying to take off on me. I think we're gonna go ahead and go grab our balzer. Get this thing delivered back to the farm. That doesn't show you guys how huge this grain cart is. I don't think anything will. Whew, dang. Almost had it. Yeah, Austin, go on ahead. Can't say I get into too much of the WWE. I guess probably my favorite colors would probably be blue and let's go with tan. I do think whenever I go to do the multiplayer server, it's probably going to be set up as more of an ultra-realistic one. Let's go with dark blue there, Austin. You know, what I mean by that is, like, you know, actually have like trucking services, like for lime and everything. There's no like easy sell points that you can put on your farm. You have to actually go truck your own lime. For your seed, there obviously, since there won't be any close sell points, you gotta go truck all your seed, possibly do all the pro boxes. Shoot, look at this thing. It really makes this a 75 Steiger look small. Get this parked over here. Go ahead and get this thing moved over. Hey there, Cater. So back in March, we lost everything to a house fire. So everything pretty well got burned up. Still working on building the house. So like I said earlier in here, I just kind of got lucky and had a chance to be able to do a live stream, but I probably won't be able to do any more live streams or very frequently until probably April would be my guess, whenever the house gets built. The tiger mate's getting really close. Let me see what the message said. I guess we're not really super clear yet on the tiger mate, but it is getting really close. I think we got to figure out the NH3 before they want to release it, because they want to release it as part of the NH3 package. Yeah, everyone ended up being okay. We were able to get out, and we were able to get the dogs out, so everything was fine. But that's the reason for the absence. Hey there, Vermont. How are you? Let's no, it's good. We'll stick with corn. Yeah, it burnt down. I don't want to get too much into details. We're all good, so that's all that matters. Vermont, what's wrong with the Val metals? I don't know anything about that. Let me try one real quick. We'll do this one. Go ahead and we're gonna lease a different tractor here. see here. I know. Okay, so the tip over easy. I know part of that was why we had to add a lot of weight to them to try not to get them to tip over so easily and to lower the center of gravity. But I think they're having some issues with that. Okay, I'll try the two-wheel one here in a minute. Hmm. See if it'll do it on Stay on the headland. I'll have to ask guys about that. I had no idea. I'll take all the deals with the Val Metal here, and I'll bring it to the guys and see what they have to say about it. I do know that the 2160 glitching into the ground is a known issue. I don't know where they're at with it on fixes. I do know that's kind of the rough thing with like going through Mod Hub, is whenever you get a fix, it has to be ran through Giants, and you may have an update that same day that it got released, but you have to wait on Giants to go through it and approve it. So it's big pain in the butt dealing with them on that stuff. Let's do some planting though. I got just a little bit longer on this live stream. It really does kill on the Giants side. I don't know about on a silage cutter. Um, I don't know if that's something the team's considered. I'm not super familiar with them, to be honest with you. So I wouldn't even know what models to go down the path of. I know that the game could probably use some like older, you know, deer ones and whatnot. What I would like to see them do on here though is on these case planers. Um, these are probably one of the easiest planners out there to convert from low speed to a high speed planner. So like this one is kind of toting right there with high speed. Realistically, there should be, in my opinion, what I'd like to see is there an option for your standard, which the top speed of this planner would typically be 6 mile an hour, and then you could do the addition of speed tubes. And I think speed tubes, the cost to add those is about I mean, the speed tube itself is about $1,100, but it never includes the harness. So realistically, you're looking at about $1,200 to add speed tubes. I'd personally love to see that option because then you could either go from a 6 mile an hour option with lower horsepower, or you could go all the way up to the 12 mile an hour, but it's going to take a heck of a lot more horsepower to get there. That's something I brought up with guys. I don't know if they've if they've considered it too much. Also, another sweet thing about these 2000 series planners is to add a 2020 monitor to them. All you do is you run one cable to that very, very outside row. There's a terminator. You unplug that terminator, plug that cable in, and boom. You just go onto the monitor, tell it that's got 2020 installed, and then it takes over all those functions. Really, really cool. Well, everybody, I think that's going to be it for me today. I didn't get to show this one off as much because we don't have anything ready for harvest, but massive freaking grain cart. The capacity on this one here, because you got two different capacities you can pick up. You got 88,100 or 100,431. So pretty insane, really. But hey, I appreciate everybody who joined in to watch this live stream. Hopefully, I can get another one going here. I've got absolutely no idea when, but hopefully another one soon. So, thank you everybody. So we'll be sure to catch you later. Join our Discord if you want to keep tabs and see whenever we're gonna do our next live stream. I'm a lot more active on it. But everybody, hope you have a good day. We'll see y'all later.